Hello dear students, today we are going to learn this very important topic, writs. So basically what are writs, उनका origin कैसे हुआ, what are its types, their application, their limitation and the case laws related to that. So this topic is very important, especially for those who are preparing for UPSC or other state civil service exams, also for those who are going to appear for CLAT. So let's start this topic. Origin of the writs. So under the English law, a prerogative writ, prerogative means a special right or a privilege. It was an order directing the behavior of another arm of the government, such as agency, official, other court, right, which was obviously subordinate to the crown, and this special right was available only to the crown, king or queen, and this reflected, underline the word, discretionary, prerogative and extraordinary power. Extraordinary means that it cannot be used under normal situation. Discretionary means विवेकपूर्ण, जिसके अंदर हमारी खुद की मर्जी होती है, of the monarch. So what actually a writ is? A writ is a formal order in writing issued under seal in the name of the sovereign. Sovereign means कोई government हो सकती है, कोई king हो सकता है, court और any other competent authority. क्या करता है ये? Commanding an officer or other person who are subordinate to them to do, कुछ करने के लिए, और refrain, कुछ ना करने के लिए, from doing some act specified therein, जो उसमें mention है. Now comes the question, what is the source of power of these writs? The constitutional remedy provided under Article 32, we all know, right? It is also known as heart and soul of the Constitution. Who said this? Yes, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So under the Constitution of India, it acts as a source of power for these writs. The provision empowers the Supreme Court and the High Court, दोनों को, सिर्फ इन दो higher courts को ही, to issue writs for the enforcement of fundamental rights given under Part 3 of the Constitution. So as you can see, Article 32 provides constitutional remedy, right? And under Article 32, you can approach Supreme Court directly. And under Article 226 of the Constitution, you can go to the High Court. Now, what is the difference between Article 32 and 226? So this is a very important topic. It is generally asked repeatedly in exams. Article 32, it grants an extensive original jurisdiction to the Supreme Court in regard to the enforcement of the fundamental right, whereas under Article 226, it can be excised for other purposes also apart from fundamental right. So can we say that the jurisdiction of Supreme Court under Article 32 is limited to fundamental rights only given under Part 3? Any doubt? And whereas under Article 226, jurisdiction of High Court is wider vis-a-vis, means in relation to Supreme Court, and it extends to other constitutional right as well. Next point, it is mandatory for Supreme Court to issue writs. In most of the cases, it is mandatory for Supreme Court to issue these writs because you can approach Supreme Court under Article 32 as a matter of right, whereas for High Court, it's a discretionary power. They may entertain your appeal and they may reject it as well. It is a fundamental right. It is a constitutional right. Next important thing is its excise can be suspended during emergency, except for habeas corpus. Its excise cannot be suspended even during the emergency. Last but not the least, its application extends to the whole of country, whereas its application is limited to the state concerned. Then, what are the different types of writs? There are mainly 5 types of writs given in the Constitution of India, which are as follows: habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, and quo warranto. There are 2 other writs also which are not given in our constitution, right? These are procedendo and sire facius. Sire facius, we'll learn about them in a while. Writ of habeas corpus. Habeas corpus का मतलब क्या होता है? Literally इसका मतलब होता है show me the body और let us have the body. इसका मतलब अगर किसी ने किसी को इलीगली डिटेन किया है तो हायर अथॉरिटी, हायर कोर्ट्स इस रिट को इशू करते हैं, इस ऑर्डर को इशू करते हैं कि आप उसको हमारे सामने लाइए. इसको हिंदी में बोलते हैं बंदी प्रत्यक्षीकरण. मतलब जिसको आपने अरेस्ट किया उसको हमारे सामने प्रत्यक्ष करो, उसको लेकर आओ. It's an order by a court to the detaining authority to produce arrested person so that it may examine the veracity of the facts, the truthfulness of the fact, right? Whether the person has been detained lawfully or not. If the court is convinced that the person is illegally detained, then the court can issue order for his release. I hope you are getting this. Application can be made by the arrested person himself, and now the question arises, if he is already in custody, who is going to appear on his behalf? Any friend or a relative also can appear on that person's behalf. So in a landmark case, ADM Jabalpur versus Sivakant Shukla 1976 case, Supreme Court permitted unrestricted power to detain during emergency. However, this is important, however, writ of habeas corpus cannot be suspended even during the emergency. I hope you have understood the writ of habeas corpus. Now comes to the second type of writ. Its literal meaning is we command. Mandamus means we command. It's an order from a superior court to a lower court or a tribunal or any public authority or a quasi judicial authority to perform an act कि आप इस काम को कीजिए, विच इज़ योर लीगल ड्यूटी, विच फॉल्स विद इन इट्स लीगल ड्यूटी. तो यहाँ पे कोई पर्सनल ड्यूटी नहीं है, इट टॉक्स अबाउट लीगल ड्यूटी. इट इज़ इशूड टू अ पब्लिक ऑफिशियल टू डू सर्टेन एक्ट्स विच फॉर्म्स द पार्ट ऑफ देयर स्टैट्यूटरी ड्यूटी या लीगल ड्यूटी एंड दे हैव फेल्ड टू परफॉर्म सो. मीन्स कुछ काम था जो आपने करना था और आप वो नहीं कर पाए हैं, तो आप उसे कीजिए. वी आर कमांडिंग यू. This is called mandamus. Unlike the writ of habeas corpus, this writ cannot be claimed as a matter of right. It is a discretionary power of a court to issue such writ. You can underline this. It's a discretionary power. Mandamus is a discretionary power. When it cannot be issued against the president or a governor for exercise of their legal duties or official duty or constitutional duties. So there was a case law, Bharat Kanta versus State of West Bengal, in which the court held that the writ of mandamus cannot be issued against a private person. Against a private person, this writ of mandamus cannot be issued, whether corporated or incorporated. Except, there was an exception, where the state is in collusion with such a private party. Suppose गवर्नमेंट ने किसी को कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दिया, किसी प्राइवेट प्लेयर को, किसी कॉन्ट्रैक्टर को कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दिया कुछ बनाने के लिए, कोई बिल्डिंग या ब्रिज, ठीक है, और वो उसको उस काम को टाइम पे नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, तो इस केस के अंदर इशू हो सकती है रिट अगर उस काम में स्टेट भी एक पार्टी है. देन रिट ऑफ प्रोहिबिशन, जैसे नाम से समझ में आ रहा है, तो किसी को कुछ काम करने से रोकना, प्रोहिबिट करना, टू स्टॉप समवन, टू फॉरबिड, राइट. सो दिस इज कॉमनली कॉल्ड एज स्टे ऑर्डर. आपने जनरली सुना होगा कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने या कोर्ट ने इस पर स्टे ऑर्डर लगा दिया, राइट. सो दिस इज द स्टे ऑर्डर. Writ of prohibition is issued when a lower court or a tribunal tries to transgress the limit or power vested in them. Transgress का मतलब होता है अपनी सीमा से बाहर जाना, transgress या to overstep. It is issued by a superior court to forbid the lower court or a tribunal or any other quasi-judicial authority to perform. What is the meaning of quasi-judicial? Quasi means similar, उस जैसा, which has some quality of that but not complete. So judicial authority तो कोर्ट ही हो गए, ठीक है. Then quasi judicial authority to perform an act which it is not competent to perform और विच इज आउटसाइड इज jurisdiction. सिंपल सी बात है, जो काम करने के लिए आप सक्षम नहीं थे, आप ऑथोराइज नहीं थे, अगर आप वो काम करते हो तो आपको रोका जाएगा. दिस इज कॉल्ड प्रोहिबिशन. आफ्टर इट्स इशुएंस द प्रोसीडिंग इन द लोअर कोर्ट कम्स टू एन एंड देन एंड देयर. वो उसी वक्त रुक जाती है. सो व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस? कैन वी मार्क द डिफरेंस? मैंडेमस डायरेक्ट्स एक्टिविटी कि ये आप करिए, प्रोहिबिशन डायरेक्ट्स इनएक्टिविटी, अब आप रुक जाइए. सो देयर वाज अ केस लॉ एस गोविंद मेनन वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया 1967. द कोर्ट हेल्ड दैट द रिट ऑफ प्रोहिबिशन कैन बी इश्यूड both in cases of excess of jurisdiction as well as absence of jurisdiction. Clear? मतलब किसी केस को हैंडल करने की, सुनने की आपके पास कैपेसिटी थी, लेकिन आप उससे थोड़ा सा आगे जा चुके हैं, और दूसरी तरफ सेकंड केस आपके पास वो अथॉरिटी ही नहीं थी. देन मूविंग ऑन टू नेक्स्ट, रिट ऑफ सर्श्योरारी. सर्श्योरारी, सर्श्योरारी मीन्स टू बी सर्टिफाइड. This writ is issued by the Supreme Court or High Court against the lower court or any tribunal or any quasi-judicial authority when they act beyond their power, and pass a judgment in matters they are not competent to pass. Similar है prohibition से, थोड़ा सा difference है. When the writ of certiorari is issued, it is issued against subordinate court or tribunals, right? कब? When they act without any jurisdiction or in excess of jurisdiction. Similar prohibition वाला ये. When they act in violation of principle of natural justice, acting in opposition to the procedure established by law, if there any error in the judgment or on the face of it. यहाँ पे हमको दो बात ध्यान रखनी है. Error ऑफ लॉ अलाउड है, एरर ऑफ फैक्ट अलाउड नहीं होता इस रिट को इश्यू करवाने के लिए. एक्सेप्शन क्या है? दिस रिट सर्श्योरारी कैन नॉट बी इश्यूड अगेंस्ट अ प्योरली एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव और मिनिस्ट्रियल ऑर्डर. इस केस में इट कैन नॉट बी इश्यूड. In Madan Gopal versus Union of India, the court said prohibition is used to prevent the court to proceed further, while certiorari is issued to quash or set aside what had already been decided. मतलब कोई काम होने से पहले कोर्ट अपने फाइनल डिसीजन पे पहुंचे उससे पहले उसको रोक देना, प्रोहिबिशन. और इन केस कोर्ट ने अपनी जो जुरिस्डिक्शन है उससे बाहर जाके अगर कोई फैसला दे दिया है तो उस फैसले को ख़त्म करना, रद्द करना इज कॉल्ड सर्श्योरारी. एक जजमेंट से पहले होती है प्रोहिबिशन, सर्श्योरारी जजमेंट के बाद होती है. आई होप इट इज क्लियर. देन वी हैव रिट ऑफ क्वो वारंटो. इट लिटरली मीन्स बाय व्हाट अथॉरिटी, अंडर हुज ऑर्डर, किसकी परमिशन से आप इस ऑफिस को ऑक्यूपाई करके बैठे हो, तो ये बताओ. दिस रिट इज इशूड टू रेस्ट्रेन अ पर्सन फ्रॉम एक्टिंग इन पब्लिक ऑफिस विच ही इज नॉट एंटाइटल्ड टू. इफ अ पर्सन occupies a public office to which he is not entitled or is not competent to hold that office, so any person who is aggrieved, right, or any person can ask the court to issue that writ so that that person is made liable to show their credential that they genuinely belong to that post or not, or they qualify to occupy that office, and if they fail to do so, they have to vacate the office. By issuing this writ, the court can question any public officer that by what authority have you assumed this public office, and if the officer's candidature is found defective, they have to vacate. Limitation, there is a limitation to this writ. It cannot be issued in case of a private office which is private in nature, like personal assistant to minister. It can only be issued in a case of a public office, right? There was a case law Bajnath versus State of UP, where the Supreme Court said the holder of an office has been continuing in office for a long time and there is no complaint against him. So in that case, the court refused the writ as it would have been vexatious. Vexatious means revengeful. मतलब आप बदले की भावना से वो आप ये रिट डाल रहे हो, पहले क्यों नहीं आपने बोला. Other important writs also, which are not mentioned in the constitution, writ of procedendo. जैसे नाम से समझ में आ रहा है, to proceed further. It has been derived from the Latin word procedendum, which means to proceed. In the common law jurisprudence, procedendo is one of the prerogative writ. Prerogative writ, वही special right, privilege. This is issued to a lower court to proceed with the case, and pass the judgment. Generally, it is issued where there is a delay in taking decision. When there is a delay in taking the decision in a particular case, generally in these writs, court does not pass a judgment. It just issues an order, okay, go with the judgment and give the judgment. The issuing authority itself does not decide the matter, rather directs the concerned court to proceed further with the case and deliver its verdict. The last writ for the day, writ of scire facias. Scire facias means it's a judicial writ which requires a person to appear in the court and argue why a judgment against them should not be enforced, annulled or executed. Means a court passes a judgment, right? And then they ask the person, they summon the person, right, to appear before the court and justify why the order that we have issued to you should not be enforced. It originated in England, later adopted by the American colonialist. It is generally issued in cases of patents and non-payments of contractual obligation, like habeas corpus. It can be issued against a private individual as well. Hope you have understood all the basic writs and their differences. Thank you. You now may ask your doubts and we'll do MCQs in next class. Thank you.